Okay, we are here at the Tehran Conference in November of 1943 with the Big Three, currently discussing the Soviet Union's border and security problems, in which I think these three have decided that the Soviet Union can restore their original 1918 borders with Poland. And Poland's western border would have to be moved further west, in which hurts Germany.
Seems like some of the Soviet Union's concerns about security are being resolved, although it does seem like that FDR and Churchill are not in total agreement.
Because of the Tehran Conference in 1943, it is now June 6, 1944, and the Second Front, for which Stalin has been long pressing for, has finally opened up, and we have now started the D-Day operations.
Now it is October 1944, and we're going live to the percentages agreement between Churchill and Stalin following the Tehran Conference and the D-Day invasions.
You bloody wanker, you think you can get all this precious influence?
If it wasn't
bloody
for the
wanker.
Soviet Union, the Eastern States would have never been won over from Hitler.
You think you can play these mind games with me,
There's
you
no
bloody
mind
wanker?
games.
There's mind games here, don't play with me.
I don't like how you're speaking to me.
Oh, I don't care. You're going to just try to collect everybody in your sphere of influence, and I'm not going to take any of
It
it.
took till 1944
All right,
to open
all
up the
right,
Second Front.
all right,
Where's our
all right,
credit?
all right. You can have. We'll split it up evenly with equal divisions. That will
Okay.
equal a whole of divisions.
All right, but we
So
want the
say-
primary influence in the Eastern States.
That's what I'm talking about, you bloody wanker. All right. So if you're gonna just talk at me, then don't just talk at me. We'll have 50-50
Fine,
in
we will work it out.
Yugoslavia. You can have 90 in Romania. I can have 10 in Romania.
No, I don't like
And
that
so
agreement.
on and so on. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
You have
All
your
right,
feet to the
that's what
west,
it
while
is.
ours
That's
is
how
to
it
the
is.
east.
That's how we're doing it. All right. That's how we're
We'll
doing
work
it.
out.
All right. Just put it here.
Yeah,
Put it here, mate. Fine. Good chap.
Right.
All right, you bloody wankers. We're gonna split Germany into 4 zones. Do you like that? All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is on the table? What else is stirring in the pot, culture?
Well, I agree that, I will allow Poland to install a communist government, only if they allow free elections.
Alrighty, I also
Okay.
agree with that. What you say, Stalin?
I say that there should be free elections in the Eastern European states. I will agree to join the United Nations, and I will declare war on Japan to help the United States out.
Alright, as long as you abide by that, I see it fit that we have a deal. Alright, chaps. Alright. That's the way it goes.
We are currently live. It is beautiful August 1945 Potsdam Conference, the Big Three, in which FDR and Churchill have been replaced with Truman and Attlee. We are currently dealing with a debate over here where Stalin has revoked his promise for free elections in Eastern Europe. Doesn't look so hot over here. Oh my God! The U.S. dropped the atomic bomb 4 days after Potsdam. 4 days.
From Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended across the continent. Behind that line lie all the capitals of the ancient states of Central and Eastern Europe: Warsaw, Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Budapest, Belgrade, Bucharest, and Sofia. All these famous cities and the populations around them lie in what I must call Soviet sphere, and all are subject, in one form or another, not only to Soviet influence, but to a very high, and in some cases increasing measure, of control from Moscow.
Is that a touch screen? I currently have the long telegram document in my hand. It is 1946, and this is a document that was by George Kennan, influenced by the Riga Axioms, which claimed the USSR was unwilling to work with the US, and that if the US did not challenge and contain the USSR, communist influence would spread. This was made public through the Mr. X article in Foreign Affairs, which I have right here.
Under the Truman Doctrine, I'm going to supply you guys with economic and military aid.
Thank
So,
you.
Greece, are you threatened by communism?
Yes, I am.
Alright, here's 300 million.
Thank you.
Turkey, are you threatened by communism?
Yes, I am.
Alright, here's 100 million.
Thank you.
Soviet satellites. Now that Comintern has worked and communist governments are established in your nations, we will unite under common form, and I will send instructions to you from Moscow so that communism will take over democracy. Ha 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 ha.
We are live in 1947 with the Andre Z speaking the two-camp speech in which declared the USSR to be the anti-imperialist and democratic camp that was opposed to the US and the Marshall Plan, which was allegedly used to gain American influence in Europe.
I, George F. Kennan, have gotten my thoughts into the Foreign Affairs magazine in July of 1947 based on my USSR beliefs. In my article titled The Mr. X Article, I believe in a policy of containment of the USSR and strong anti-communism.
Because Yugoslavia became a communist nation on their own under Marshal Tito and without the USSR withdrew support in March of 1948 and expelled them from the Common Form in June.
You know what? How could you do this? You're out of the common form.
This severed ties with the satellites as well.
Because of the Marshall Plan created in 1948, $15 billion of U.S. aid was distributed until 1951 to rebuild post-war Europe. Aid offers were not accepted by the USSR, even though they were offered, and its satellites did not take it as well because they were unsure of the United States' intentions. The Berlin blockade was an attempt in 1948 by the Soviet Union to limit the ability of France, Great Britain, and the United States to travel their sectors of Berlin, which lay within the Russian-occupied East Germany. Eventually, the Western powers instituted an airlift which lasted nearly a year and delivered much-needed supplies and relief to West Berlin. Coming just 3 years after the end of World War II, the blockade was the first major clash of the World War and foreshadowed future conflict over the city of Berlin.
Drop the loop.
It is January 1949, we are at Comic-Con, and the Council for Mutual Economic Assistance is establishing facilitated economic activity between the USSR and its satellite nations.